Hey everyone, it is October 1st and let's go over what you learned in class today. We are still comparing fractions, decimals, and percents, but now when you're comparing, they might be all mixed up. So you might have to compare fractions with decimals and decimals with percents, or all three of them all together. So remember, if you get a problem and there are all fractions, all you need to do is find a common denominator. You don't have to change them all to decimals. But if you get a problem that has fractions mixed with percents mixed with decimals, I want you to change them all to decimals and then compare them. So let's look at this question right here. So we are comparing 3/4 with 7/10, and we need to figure out, is 3/4 greater than, less than, or equal to 7/10? So again, the first step is to change them all to decimals. So you have to kind of go back and remember what you've been taught in the last week or so. To change 3/4 to a decimal, I divide, just like we did a week or so ago. So I take the numerator divided by the denominator. So 3 divided by 4. Okay, top divided by bottom. You can use a calculator for this. It's a little more challenging division. And so if you get out your calculator and you divide 3 by 4, you should get 75 hundredths, which is 0.75. So let's write that down, 0.75. So now I can compare 0.75 because that's equal to 3/4 with 7/10. Now, some people have difficulty looking at two decimals and comparing them. I've got a great strategy that I want to show you. When I compare decimals, I line them up vertically. So let's go to this side of the board. So I've got my 75 hundredths, or 0.75, and then I've got my 7/10. I'm going to line them up vertically, straight up and down, 7/10. And because I have an empty spot here, you can fill it with a 0 unless you already know that it's a 0. You don't have to fill it, but I'm going to put a 0 there. Now I compare my columns. Let me get a different color so you can see what I'm doing. Let's do green. So I'm going to compare my first column here. I have a 7 and a 7. They're the same, so I really can't say whether they're greater than or less, and so I need to move to the next column. In my next column here, I have a 5 and a 0. I can compare a 5 and a 0. 5 is greater than 0. So because 5 is greater than 0, that means 75 hundredths is actually greater than 7/10. And so then I put in my greater than sign. Remember, if I forget which way my sign points, I can put 2 dots next to the larger number. I can put 1 dot next to the smaller number, and then I connect my dots. All right? I will do another video, and we will compare a fraction and a percent. So if you have any questions, watch the video again, do your best, but you can bring them into school and ask me tomorrow.